The first person tried it and was like, mine is sweet. And then the next person tried theirs and was like, mine's sweet too. Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Montana and I was an exchange student in Germany this past year, but now I'm back in the United States and I still make these videos on German versus American culture. Today's video theme is going to be going over 9 things that Ausländer, was ist das word? Sorry, I cannot think of the word in English. Like, that foreigners in Germany find weird. And I'm going to be going through this article from Deutsche Welle and seeing if I think it's true or if it's not so true. So the article is actually 9 Dinge, die Ausländer in Deutschland seltsam finden. Und los geht's. The first one is like sneezing or blowing their nose very hard. I do think that Germans blow their noses a little more like loudly and they don't care than Americans, but this is not so common. Just sometimes on the bus or like in a restaurant, someone would blow their nose really loud. I don't think this is too crazy. The second one is that in Germany, they watch movies and a lot of times they have the closed captions on the movies instead of just translating them fully. I don't think I ever went to a film like that. I went and saw The Joker in German and it was actually in German, so there weren't, oh, that's my camera. So there weren't subtitles. Otherwise, I think that Germany probably has more films with closed captions because the film industry in Germany doesn't seem to be very big. Like, a lot of the films that would come out into the theaters were American films like Joker, or I know that movie Birds of Prey came out when I was in Germany, so they watch a lot of American films and sometimes they're dubbed, sometimes they're not. You can find them in English too because a lot of German people speak English and watch movies to practice English. So I know that my host sister's school did like a field trip to watch an English movie in theaters. The sweet popcorn, I thought the sweet popcorn was disgusting because I love salty popcorn and it was just like kettle corn, but honestly sweeter than kettle corn because in the US kettle corn oftentimes has like a little bit of salt on top and it's not just sweet. So like getting the sweet popcorn in Germany, well, it was too much for me. And I think I told this story in another video, but when I went over, we had this language camp where all 50 Americans lived together and we had German Betreuers or like counselors and teachers, and so one day they took us all to see The Lion King in German. So it was like Der König der Löwen, and sorry if I butchered that. And we saw it and we all went in and none of us had had popcorn since being in the US just because we didn't have microwaves where we were living. And we went into the movie theaters and all of us started getting these huge buckets of popcorn, and the first person tried it and was like, mine is sweet. And then the next person tried theirs and was like, mine's sweet too. And all of us were like, ugh, because we had just spent so much money on these huge buckets of popcorn and none of us wanted the sweet ones. So yes, that is true. And if you're going to Germany, do not think that you're going to get salty popcorn unless you ask specifically for salty. The next one is Kirchensteuer. So this is church tax. In Germany, you have to pay a tax. A portion of your income goes to the church if you're a member of the church. I have no clue how much it is. Let's see if it says. It doesn't say how much it is. But this Kirchensteuer, it's not optional. It's actually mandatory if you're a member of the church. So a lot of German members end up leaving the church because they find that it's unfair, or it's just a very kind of controversial thing. My German teacher was explaining that she doesn't necessarily agree with it, but it's just kind of how it is. And so I do think that's one thing that foreign people find weird because that's definitely not a thing in the United States. We do have the church donation boxes, and my parents give to the church. You can give to the church like once a year or however often you want, but it's nothing like a tax that comes out automatically or nothing mandatory. This is the fourth thing. Rundfunkgebühren für alle. Auch für Oh, this is talking about the TV tax. There's actually a TV tax or a like a service fee in Germany if you use like TVs, and it's so expensive. I'm really confused as to why it's so expensive. This is definitely something that does not make sense to exchange people or foreigners in Germany, because in the United States you have to pay for your cable service, but this is like a second fee and it's pretty expensive. So I don't know if I would have a TV. I wonder if like someday in Germany less and less people are gonna have TVs. I know in the US like that's honestly the case with cable, because now everybody just uses Netflix and everybody uses like online streaming services rather than paying for cable TV to like appear. And you can always get the news for free too. Okay, so then the fifth one, Sonntags ist alles zu. This fifth one is saying that on Sundays everything in Germany is closed. I mean, with the exception of like gas stations and cafes, so like a few things are open, but majority of like stores and everything is closed. And this was so insane to live in Germany and experience that, because it doesn't seem like it would really impact your like living or your day, but in the United States on Sundays, that's when I would kind of do a lot. Like my mom and I would go grocery shopping, we would go out and run errands, we would get any like last minute things that you need for a school project maybe. But in Germany you cannot do that, because on Sundays pretty much all the stores are closed. Like Müller was closed, and like the whole Stadtgalerie malls, everything was closed, so you couldn't do that. Grocery stores are closed. The reason that Germany does this is because Sunday is supposed to be a day of rest. It's supposed to be a day that you spend with your family, which is very nice. And I ended up really liking that on Sundays everything was closed. Everything was closed, because on Sundays in Germany I would end up running. My host family and I would hang out. We would go to a cafe maybe and just spend a lot of family time together, which was nice because it's like a dedicated day to do that. It's kind of funny because it makes grocery shopping day in Germany Saturday and sometimes Friday. So on Saturdays the grocery stores like Aldi and Lidl were so full. This next one is saying that in Germany their shower heads, sorry my camera is being cuckoo today, these shower heads aren't on the wall a lot of times, so it's just one of those holdy shower heads, you know, the ones that like you can like move all around. I wouldn't say this one's too true or like too crazy about things that we find weird. A lot of the newer showers, you have the ability to like mount the movable shower head, or you have an actual shower head. So I think that like more and more modern German bathrooms actually do have that like mounted shower head. I'll insert some pictures so you guys know what I'm talking about. It's the like portable one that most showers have. And another thing that I noticed that was very weird in German bathrooms is that there are these like chamber style bathrooms where like you have the two doors and then they fold in and close in front of you. The showers are a lot of times a lot smaller than American showers. In America, the showers are just so big now, and like all the new showers are even bigger, which is crazy. But that shower head that you use, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I would rather have just like a mounted shower head. And also German showers are different because most of them have glass walls, versus in the US we have like those plastic curtain ones where you just like and then the curtain is like on the shower. But in Germany, since they're all glass, you get to use those little squeegee things that like you go like and the water like drips down. So I love that part of German showers. Next one is that some of the German meals, you have like a sweet meal for lunch, and the main example that they give is Kaiserschmarrn, which is like a scrambled crepe cinnamon pancake with applesauce. So good. If you have not had it, you've got to try it. This was surprising, honestly, because in America we don't really eat sweet things. Sweet things are normally just for breakfast and dessert, and lunch is kind of like sandwiches or hot foods or cold like salads. Okay, and then this last one, I have never heard of this ever. So this last one I think is fake. Sorry, I'm only doing 8 instead of the 9. But the last one says der Schaum bleibt dran, and it's saying that Germans wash their dishes but then leave the like foamy soap suds on it, and then just like let the soap suds stay there instead of wiping them off or rinsing them off, because if they rinsed it off then it would use more water. I don't don't think this is true. Like, my host family never did that. And yes, okay, so yes, I only lived with one German family, but if this is something that you do and you're German, please, please comment that down below, because I did not know anyone who did this. And like, now that I'm thinking about my German friends' houses, they didn't do that either. If you leave the soap suds on your dishes, then please let me know, because I don't think that is a thing in Germany, even though this article says it is. And also, if it is a thing in Germany, then I would find that very weird, and I think foreigners would also find that very weird. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Hopefully you learned something new about German culture, or like weird things that Germans do. If you have any questions or any thoughts on this video, then please leave them in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys are staying safe and healthy. Bleib gesund und tschüss!